You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live at 4 on this Monday. Hope you had a nice weekend. Happy June.
Here we go.
June 1st. Yeah. Happy Pride Month. We'll have more on that coming up in just a little while. But we're beginning today with new developments in the case of a former Sun Prairie West high school dean.
Our Sarah Carlson joins us now to tell us why state prosecutors are dismissing the case. Sarah?
That's right, Susan and Brady. State prosecutors are dismissing their case against 31-year-old Robert Gilkey Messigeyer since he was already convicted on federal child sex crime charges. Gilkey Messigeyer was convicted of attempting to produce and possessing child sex abuse materials. Gilkey Messigeyer pleaded guilty in February to producing child sexual abuse materials and was sentenced to 18 years in federal prison. According to court documents, in light of his federal conviction on the same incident, state-level prosecutors are now dismissing that case against him. Now, multiple Sun Prairie school staff members were placed on administrative leave due to the investigation surrounding this former dean, including Sun Prairie West principal Jennifer Ploger. She was removed from her position. She was later arrested and charged with 3 misdemeanor counts of failing to report child abuse. Court records show Ploger was offered a deferred prosecution agreement last week, which means that she avoids jail time in exchange for a plea of guilty or no contest.
Sarah, thank you. We now have a clearer picture today of why a flight from Chicago to Minneapolis made a diversion to Madison on Friday night. The United Airlines flight was carrying around 180 people and was diverted around 9 o'clock that night. A 75-year-old man was detained and handcuffed on the flight. It appears he was having a mental health crisis and allegedly repeatedly tried to breach the cockpit. No criminal charges are being pursued at this time. The FBI in Milwaukee is taking over this investigation.
One person is dead after a Saturday night crash in Watertown. Sheriff's deputies responded to Little Coffee Road, just south of Watertown, for reports of an iPhone crash notification. Deputies found the crash with 2 people out of the vehicle and 1 still inside. All 3 people had serious injuries. 2 were taken to a nearby hospital. The 3rd was med-flighted and later died at the hospital. Investigators think the vehicle was going north when it missed the curve, went into the ditch, and ended up in a creek.
Whitewater police say a 19-year-old suspect has been arrested in connection with a series of car break-ins and residential burglaries reported throughout the city in the month of May. A search warrant executed in Sheboygan Falls led to the recovery of more evidence tied to the crimes. One suspect faces multiple charges, including burglary, theft of a firearm, and being a felon in possession of a firearm.
Well, after tomorrow, the 80-degree weather is here to stay.
But there are some much-needed chance for rain this week. We're keeping our fingers crossed. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington is here with the weather. Hi, Alex.
Hi there, and I'm warm. I'm sweating in here. I don't know if you folks are sweating on that side of the studio, but look at these temperatures that we're going to be seeing, getting into the middle to upper 80s. The humidity is also going to increase as we move throughout the week, and that's the fuel for showers and thunderstorms, and our chances get up into the scattered category as we go later Friday into Saturday. Yes, fingers crossed. We need this rainfall. However, this rainfall does come with a bit of a catch. As part of the 3 things you need to know, we'll clear out tonight. We got that wildfire risk until those rain chances increase, but some of those storms could be on the stronger side later in the week, so we have to keep that in mind. All that and more when I come back in my main weather. We'll talk more about those rain chances that we badly need.
Okay, we'll see you in just a little bit, Alex. Thank you. A new experimental drug is giving hope to patients battling one of the deadliest cancers.
News 3 Now's Jalen Banks joins us with what's making a new drug so effective for pancreatic cancer.
Brady and Susan, this new cancer treatment drug is giving patients a new lease on life in some cases. The medication is called Durelax Rasa. In helping pancreatic cancer patients survive nearly twice as long, about 13 months compared to 6 months with chemotherapy. Experts say this isn't a cure, but could lay the foundation for cancer treatment moving forward.
And so what this drug is, daraxonrasib, is really a targeted drug, or the drug that turns the KRAS off. So it turns off the engine inside the pancreas cancer cell that drives this cancer growth.
Daraxonrasib works in a targeted way with fewer side effects than chemotherapy. Tonight at 5, we'll have about what this drug could mean for all cancer treatments moving forward.
Very exciting news. We'll see you at 5, Jalen. Thank you. In Janesville, police there are asking for everyone's help to find 2 16-year-old girls who were reported as runaways on Thursday. Parents of both girls called the police that day to report them missing. Police say Pamela Torres Castellanos and Liliana Garcia Barranco were picked up by a mutual friend at around noon on Thursday and then dropped off by the bus terminal on Pontiac Drive in Janesville. Both bought one-way tickets to Chicago and left a bus near Union Station at 3:30 on Thursday. If you have any information about the girls' whereabouts, please call Janesville Police. Madison is kicking off this Pride Month with a colorful tradition. Governor Tony Evers helped kick off Pride Month today by raising the pride flag over the Wisconsin state capitol. The governor was joined by LGBTQ+ advocates for the annual ceremony. The governor said the raising of the Pride and Progress flags is both a celebration of Wisconsin's LGBTQ+ community and a reaffirmation of our state's commitment to dignity, respect, and opportunity for all.
They want to remove books and stories from shelves across the country because they tell stories of love, inclusion, diversity, and strength. Well, folks, here in Wisconsin, I promised long ago that as governor, I'd always fight to protect LGBTQ Wisconsinites with every tool and every power that I have, and it's a promise I've been proud to keep.
The pride flag will fly over the Capitol throughout the month of June as communities across the state observe Pride Month with events, festivals, and educational programs.
Starting today, you have a chance to recognize all of your favorite things and people in Madison, from restaurants to broadcasters. Voting is now underway for the 2026 Best of Madison Awards. After months of nominations, the finalists have been named, and the competition now moves into the voting phase. You can vote once per day in as many categories as you want from today through June 30th. The winners will be announced in Madison Magazine's October issue. We have to wait a little bit. Madison Magazine is part of our parent company, Morgan Murphy Media.
Book lovers, you now have a new reason to hit the road all month long. 35 independent bookstores are participating in Bookshop Quest 2026. It's designed to encourage readers to explore new communities, to discover some new authors, and to support local businesses. You can find maps at participating bookstores across the state starting today, and Quest participants, you can bring your map from store to store and have it marked, just kind of like a passport at each stop.
I think one of the great things about independent bookstores is how different they all are. Each store has a small team, or maybe just one person behind it, choosing the books, choosing what events they host, choosing how they fit into their community. And so we want to give people a chance to really go out and explore and find all the other bookstores that they will love.
You can find the full list of participating bookshops at channel3000.com.
Right now, Madison Bike Week is underway. Now, through the week, more than 80 events will be held through the city, celebrating biking as fun, healthy, and a sustainable way to get around. Throughout the week, bike riders can enjoy social rides, parties, commuter stations, discounts, educational events, and demonstrations to help everyone enjoy their bikes and feel more comfortable around the city. Madison Bike Week is happening until Sunday.
Boy, the weather has been perfect for Madison Bike Week, and it continues. Coming up next on Live at 4. After major efforts to bring her here, some very exciting news about Nora the polar bear at Madison's Henry Vila Zoo.
Then protesters descended on Blue Mounds again in calls for the release of what they call the Ridgeland 650.
Plus, if you have an ATV or a UTV, today marks a rule change that could change how you ride. What will be different going forward when we come back?
And today is yet another beautiful day, but our long spell of nice days could be coming to a close quick. Alex shows us what to expect at the end of the week in the First Warn forecast.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Protesters are demanding the release of 650 beagles still held at Ridgeland Farms. This weekend, groups gathered again to call for all dogs to be released from the facility. About 1,500 dogs have already been freed from the facility, but animal rights activists say their work is not finished. On Saturday, demonstrators returned to the farm with signs and megaphones to advocate for what they call the Ridgeland 650.
We don't want these dogs to be forgotten about. We're still going to keep showing up and speaking out until every single one of those dogs is released. They are going to learn how to be a real dog, and we couldn't ask for anything more than that.
Protesters have urged Ridgeland to release the remaining beagles and end what they call animal abuse. The farm has not responded to Saturday's protest. Ridgeland Farms must surrender its federal breeding license by July 1st. It's a gorgeous day out today with just a few clouds, but the end of the week looks like our perfect weather is running out.
Alex is here with more, and Alex, we don't want storms, but we'll take the rain if we can get it.
Yeah, we will. We need this rainfall in that scattered category as we head out towards the end of the week, and even scattered showers and thunderstorms coming in Friday afternoon, Friday evening, Saturday, going on into Saturday afternoon and evening. This is good news. We need this rainfall here, folks. We just don't need the severe weather, but that's part of the three things you need to know. Clearing skies tonight, wildfire risk, and then those strong storms as we head out into the latter part of the upcoming week. Temperatures getting into the 80s. That's that fuel for both the wildfire risk and the chance for stronger thunderstorms. All our temperatures here, these boxes, whenever they get up into the reds, that's above normal temperatures that we're going to experience. No below normal temperatures in any time in the short term. And we've got low humidity levels. Occasionally we get some breezy winds. It's dry out there. Warm temps. That's why we have that fire danger into Wednesday until the humidity levels can increase and those rain chances can build in. Lows right around 50 tonight, and that's fairly close to normal for this time of year. Pretty comfy. Highs in the upper 70s. Might get a couple 80s out towards the Mississippi River. These temperatures are also still above normal. Average high is about 74, so we're averaging 4, 5, even 10 degrees above normal in some cases. If some areas can get into the lower 80s tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine. When you see blue here with a big old sunshine, that means temperatures are going to be mild with that sun, so you're going to need the sunscreen and you're going to need the sunglasses as we move and plan through Tuesday. So beautiful day on Tuesday before the temperatures really start to increase. 82 Wednesday, 85 Thursday, mid 80s with lows in the mid to upper 60s. That's that fuel for shower and thunderstorm activity. Friday going on into Saturday is the most likely period for showers and thunderstorms, but that chance could extend a little bit further into the weekend as well. And then behind me here, look at these temperatures climbing into the upper 80s to near 90, 60s at night. So I think the AC, I'm going to forecast this here probably by Thursday night. Many homes are going to be starting to hum out there because then we're going to go into that long pattern of dry condition, when I shouldn't say dry conditions, warmer conditions as we head out into next week. And of course, as always promised, a viewer photo. We had a couple showers across the area this morning, just enough water in the atmosphere with that sun rising in Sun Prairie that Amy captured a rainbow this morning. And you can send us your photos. Just scan that QR code in the upper right-hand part of the screen, and those photos come to our end, and then we accept them. They always show on channel3000.com, and then every now and then we have an opportunity to showcase some of them on air. So thank you, Amy, for bringing us a bright rainbow to start off June 1st, and I guess when we're talking about Pride Month,
how perfect.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Amy. Thanks to you too, Alex. Coming up on Live at 4, clashes are continuing at a New Jersey ICE detention facility after those detained are taking part in a hunger and labor strike.
Then as a peace deal was just hours away, it looks like we are back at square one as Iran pulls back from peace talks due to Israel's strikes in Lebanon.
With the World Cup U.S. kickoff happening later this month, authorities in Los Angeles are talking about security today and what things will look like for this year's event.
And Josh is in the 608 giving us a look at the summer ahead for Circus World in Baraboo. He shows us how the community mainstay is helping celebrate America's 250th anniversary.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Let's see how stocks are starting the work week. The numbers on Wall Street today, a small movement upward as new record highs were broken again today. The Dow closed up 46 points, the Nasdaq gained 114, and the S&P 500 picked up about 20.
Iranian state media claims negotiations with the U.S. to end the war have been suspended due to Israel's escalating military actions against Hezbollah in Lebanon.
But President Trump says talks are continuing after he spoke with leaders from both Israel and Hezbollah. The developments come amid new flare-ups in the Strait of Hormuz. Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
As strikes flare in the Strait of Hormuz, images posted to a pro-Iran social media account Monday show damage to the hull of a container ship. A British maritime security monitoring organization said a commercial cargo vessel was hit in the Gulf, causing a large explosion. This weekend, Iran and the U.S. exchanged fire. U.S. Central Command said it took defensive actions against Iranian targets after Iran shot down a U.S. drone. The U.S. military says it also intercepted Iranian missiles targeting American forces based in Kuwait.
There's a kind of low-grade war going on in the Strait and in the Gulf right now over who gets to control that for the future.
Iran has accused the U.S. of violating the ceasefire between the flare-ups in and around the Strait and Israel's decision to scale up its operation targeting Iran-backed Hezbollah in Lebanon, even seizing a medieval castle over the weekend.
President Trump, in a new social media post Monday, said that he spoke to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and representatives of Hezbollah and said both sides agreed that all shooting will stop.
The attempt to de-escalate comes after Iranian state media reported the fighting in Lebanon threatened the larger peace negotiations with the U.S. Monday afternoon, President Trump posted that talks with Iran are continuing at a rapid pace. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
A U.S. official confirms about 70 commercial ships have gone through the Strait of Hormuz in the past 3 weeks with help from U.S. Central Command. That's about 3 ships per day over 3 weeks. More than 100 ships per day passed through the strait before the conflict began.
Authorities in Los Angeles have a message for any would-be criminals ahead of next week's World Cup kickoff. Los Angeles District Attorney Nathan Hochman says law enforcement will be handing out their own version of the red card to lawbreakers, promising to make the games memorable, enjoyable, and safe. Team USA takes on Paraguay at Los Angeles Stadium on June 12th. It is the first 2026 World Cup match on U.S. soil.
Let me be clear. Violent, chaotic clashes hurt everyone. They put the lives of both protesters and law enforcement in danger. They take the
Yeah, sorry about that. That is the New Jersey Governor, Mikey Sherrill. That's not the sound that we wanted to roll there. Sorry about that. Iran's team is playing 2 matches in Los Angeles. The LA sheriff says extra personnel have been assigned for both, and officials will be closely monitoring protests and looking for any concerning activity. To the thousands of visitors to Los Angeles, he cautions that if something seems too good to be true, like deals on tickets, merchandise, or hotel rooms, the offers or items are probably fake.
Family visitations are expected to fully resume today at an ICE detention center in New Jersey.
The facility has been at the center of violent clashes between protesters and federal immigration officers for several days, and a nightly curfew is now in place in the area. Jared Hill has the latest from New York.
State police are standing guard outside the Delaney Hall Immigration Detention Center in Newark, New Jersey, amid ongoing protests outside the facility.
New Jersey has tough police officers, but they have tougher community.
New Jersey's governor says several people, including out-of-state agitators, were arrested Sunday on the first night of a curfew covering a half-mile area outside.
It's time to bring the temperature down.
New Jersey's attorney general says police detained a group of individuals who came to the protest armed with helmets, shields, or gas masks, and deliberately refused to comply with repeated orders to leave.
Let me be clear. Violent, chaotic clashes hurt everyone. I will ensure public safety, and I refuse to give ICE an excuse to surge into our communities.
Newark's mayor set the curfew after more than a week of sometimes violent clashes between protesters and police.
This was a rubber bullet, which they're saying they weren't shooting, but they obviously were.
Detainees inside Delaney Hall have been on a hunger strike over poor living conditions. Over the weekend, several Democratic lawmakers toured the 1,000-bed facility.
The lack of access to quality food, that's not America. the lack of access to adequate medical treatment, that's not America.
The Department of Homeland Security denies the claims, saying in part, these types of smears are inciting violent riots. The nightly curfew around Delaney Hall remains active until further notice. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Over the weekend, the Department of Homeland Security reopened the facility to family visitation for the relatives of the detainees for the first time in a week after suspending it because of the protests.
Coming up on Live at 4, ATV and UTV rules in Wisconsin have changed starting today. We'll take a look at the specifics and what it could mean for riding habits.
Then amazing news for the polar bear species, as Nora at the Henry Vila Zoo could be pregnant. Well, the only issue is we can't be certain yet. We'll show you why zoo employees say we may not know until Nora has a cub.
State prosecutors are dropping their case against a former Sun Prairie High School dean. How a federal conviction is playing into the state's decision.
But first, Alex is back with another check of the first warn forecast and tells us about a chance of thunderstorms at the end of the week.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Live at 4 and happy June 1st to everyone.
Happy
Somehow
June. Can you believe it?
Yeah, and then now it's going to fly by and it'll be winter before we know it.
It's true, but let's take a look outside today. By the end of this week, it's going to feel like the end of July. That's a pretty shot. The gardens around here are going to be with the super grow.
Yep, things are blooming now.
But we do need a little bit of rain. The weather words for today, great early week weather. Alex, does that mean we might have some rain chances later in the week?
We certainly do, Susan and Brady, and even warmer temperatures and the muggy stuff. So the sticky stuff is on the way to southern Wisconsin. It is that humidity and the warmth, though, that provides the fuel for showers and thunderstorms, and we need those showers and thunderstorms. And you see a little mountain here in the rainfall chances Thursday night going into Friday night and into Saturday, maybe even lasting into Saturday night as a weather system or several of them move through the upper Midwest with good rain chances overall for the area. Outside right now, very beautiful. Even though we have a few clouds out there, those clouds helping to maybe cut down on a little bit of the sunburn potential, I guess, is where I'm going with that thought there. 77 in Beaver Dam, 77 in Mineral Point, near 80, 79 in Platteville. And as we plan the rest of our evening, gorgeous. Eventually, conditions will clear on out as we get a little bit later into the upcoming evening. So clearing skies, that wildfire risk, believe it or not, is there Tuesday, Wednesday, going on even into Thursday until that humidity ramps up. More on those strong storm chances. I'll take us through Future Track to show you how widespread those storms will be when I come back in a little while.
See you then. Thanks, Alex.
There are new developments today in the case of a former Sun Prairie West High School dean.
Our Sarah Carlson joins us now to tell us why state prosecutors are dismissing their case. Sarah.
Brady and Susan, that's right. State prosecutors say they're dismissing this case against 31-year-old Robert Gilkey Messigeyer after his federal conviction. Gilkey Messigeyer pleaded guilty and was convicted of attempting to produce and possessing child sex abuse materials. He was sentenced to 18 years in federal prison. According to court documents, in light of Gilkey Messigeyer's federal conviction for charges based on the same incident, state-level prosecutors are now dismissing their case against him. Now, multiple Sun Prairie school staff members were also placed on administrative leave stemming from this investigation. Sun Prairie West principal Jennifer Ploger was removed from her position and later arrested and charged with 3 misdemeanor counts of failing to report child abuse. She was offered a deferred prosecution agreement just last week, which means she could avoid jail time in exchange for a plea of guilty or no contest.
Sarah, thank you. Well, we now have a clearer picture of why a flight from Chicago to Minneapolis made a diversion to Madison on Friday night. United Airlines flight was carrying about 180 people and was diverted at about 9 o'clock that night. A 75-year-old man was detained and handcuffed on the flight. It appears the man was having a mental health crisis and allegedly repeatedly tried to breach the cockpit. No criminal charges are being pursued at the moment, and the FBI in Milwaukee is taking over the investigation.
In Janesville, police there are asking for the public's help to find two 16-year-old girls who were reported as runaways on Thursday. Parents of both of the girls called the police that day to report them missing. Police say Pamela Torres Castellanos and Liliana Garcia Barranco were picked up by a mutual friend at around noon on Thursday and then dropped off by the bus terminal on Pontiac Drive in Janesville. Both bought one-way tickets to Chicago and left a bus near Union Station at 3:30 on Thursday. If you have any information about their whereabouts, please call Janesville Police.
From seatbelts to towing restrictions, several new ATV and UTV laws are taking effect across the state.
That's today on June 1st, and our Kayla Dembeck is here in the studio with more. Kayla?
Yes, Susan and Brady, if you are planning to hit Wisconsin's ATV and UTV trails this summer, there are several new safety laws you'll want to know about. Starting June 1st, all occupants in a UTV, including the driver, must wear a seatbelt. New rules also prohibit towing people in trailers or sleds, with a few exceptions, and UTVs will now face window tint restrictions similar to those for cars. The Wisconsin DNR says the changes are aimed at reducing crashes and injuries, while local organizations say they're also about keeping up with the rapid growth of the sport.
I know some people don't like any rules or any laws, but when you got a program this large, you have to have management to be proactive, and that's what we feel these rules and laws are doing.
Million ATVs and UTVs are registered across the state, and that these laws will help reduce preventable crashes on Wisconsin's trails and roadways. DNR officials encourage riders to review the updated regulations before heading out this summer, because the best rides are the ones that end safely.
That is for sure. Kayla, thank you. Wisconsin and several other Midwest states are set to receive more than $15 million in disaster relief. FEMA announced that the money is available through its public assistance and hazard mitigation grant programs. In Wisconsin, $1.3 million will reimburse the state's healthcare facilities for grant management and steps taken to limit the spread of COVID. The money is in addition to the $41 million recently approved for pandemic recovery. The new funding also includes more than $12 million in FEMA public assistance, public assistance awards across Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, and Wisconsin.
Starting today, you have a chance to recognize all of your favorite things and people in Madison, from restaurants to broadcasters like Susan Simon to
like
my left.
Us. Team award.
The voting is now underway for the 2026 Best of Madison Awards. So after months of nominations, the finalists have been named, and the competition now moves into the voting phase. You can vote once per category in as many categories as you want from today through June 30th. Remember, once per category. The winners will be announced in Madison Magazine's October issue. Madison Magazine is part of our parent company, Morgan Murphy Media.
Brady and I appreciate your support,
thank
everybody.
you.
The Universities of Wisconsin Board of Regents announced today it would consider a 2% tuition increase for the upcoming school year. The increase would apply to resident undergraduate students. The Regents say the increase is below the current inflation rate and would help cover rising operating costs. The Regents are also considering raising segregated fees by an average of 3.5%. That means with tuition, fees, and room and board combined, the average annual attendance cost for a resident undergrad would increase by about 2.5%.
Wisconsin is expected to hire longtime NFL executive Morocco Brown as the football program's new general manager. Brown was selected for the role, replacing Marcus Sedbury, who had been serving in the position while also acting as interim athletic director. Brown's NFL resume includes stops with the Bears, Colts, Browns, and Commanders. He's interviewed for multiple NFL GM openings. Now, this hire is part of a growing trend in college football, with programs adding general managers to help oversee roster building and operations.
The Henry Vilas Zoo in Madison, as you know, is always very busy in the summer, but it might be even a little bit more crowded next year.
Zookeepers say a new Arctic baby could be on the way. Bella Ferrick is showing us.
The Henry Vilas Zoo has 3 polar bears. You can see one behind me right now, but soon they might have 4. Keepers aren't too sure, but they're optimistic that polar bear Nora might be pregnant.
What's cuter than a polar bear cub? We all want that very badly, I think.
Henry Vilas Zoo is one of 35 U.S. zoos designated as polar bear breeding facilities. This in an effort to restore its population. It received its only male polar bear, Siku, 6 months ago in the hopes of creating a cub with Nora. And while there is no polar bear pregnancy test, zoo officials say she's showing some positive signs.
We know that polar bears who get along with the bear they're partnered up with have a higher success rate. Nora and Siku have been playing together all spring and summer. They seem to like each other very much.
If Nora eats enough food and likes her hibernation space, she might den up this winter and come out with a mini-me this spring. Reporting in Madison, Bella Farrick, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Bella. That's quite the, I guess, occasion.
Right, but
what do you do?
How do you determine that? You just kind of wait and see.
How do you even plan for a baby shower now?
The polar bears aren't going to like this forecast either.
No, I don't think so. Next on Live at 4, a star-spangled spectacle is taking center stage in Baraboo as Circus World kicks off a summer-long celebration of America's 250th birthday.
Our Josh Breiter shows us how the Big Top is bringing history and high-flying entertainment to Sauk County.
Then we all think of flowers, chocolates, and hearts when it comes to love. But one survey says cheeseheads, Packers jerseys, and the smell of brats can bring an unexpected level of romance between couples.
And thunderstorms could be behind a period of heating that's building over the next few days. Alex will talk about some stronger storms that may be possible while we enjoy the great weather start to this work week. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
In the 608, Circus World has a big summer ahead in Sauk County, and the people there are celebrating America's 250th anniversary.
It's going to be a big summer. Josh Breiter is in Baraboo with what's happening there right now.
We are in the Big Top tent here at Circus World, where they have a summer of fun ahead for you, and we're getting a little preview of that fun right here on News 3 Now. We have Richie and Sophia joining us, a brother-sister duo.
Yes, that's right. We're brother-sister, 4th-generation jugglers from Budapest, Hungary. Our grandparents, our parents, they taught us juggling from a young age. We've been touring and working in the circus all our lives.
You know, what is it like to be able to perform here at Circus World?
Oh, it's so special, especially for us because this is our 6th summer back. So we've really gotten known around the community, and we're used to seeing everyone come back and say hi, how have you been, catch up with all the locals. So it's really special for us to be back.
So you guys kind of got me in there. I had to stay nice and straight there.
Yes, we do that also. We have this year, outside of the Big Top show, we have our juggling jamboree. You can come watch me and Sophia juggle, and then we invite you onto the stage, make you a part of the act, juggle around you. We invite you to try and learn how to juggle, so we have a bunch of fun here today.
Oh, that's fun. All right, you guys do your thing here. I want to see some more stuff. Look at you guys go. Yay! So when can folks come check out you guys here at Circus World?
So we have our Big Top shows at 11 and 2 o'clock, and then the juggling jamboree will be taking place either outside or in the Hippodrome, depending on the weather, at 1 o'clock.
All right, well, you guys can do your thing here as I send it back to the studio. If you'd like to learn more about what's happening here at Circus World this summer, again, a summer of fun, as they're helping celebrate America's 250th birthday, you can see the action and be part of it right here in Baraboo. In Baraboo, I'm Josh Breiter, News 3 Now.
That is outstanding.
Yeah.
How did they do
mesmerizing.
that? I know, it made us a little nervous.
Do you think they asked Josh if they could light the clubs on fire when he was standing in the middle?
Yes, exactly. Josh is brave. He'd probably go for it.
When he's not assisting a juggling duo, you can watch Josh every weekday morning and noon right here on News 3 Now.
And you could say the weather has been playing on repeat
yes.
a little bit. We're going to be maybe juggling a few rain showers. Hopefully, we don't want storms, though, Alex.
Well, no, we don't want the severe weather, but just look at my mountain here of rain chances, meaning good rain chances as we head towards Friday, going into Friday evening, maybe even lasting into Saturday morning. What's that all about here? I can give you a glimpse of that as we start off Friday morning, right around 6, 7 o'clock. Some showers and thunderstorms coming out of Minnesota. They're going to try to move towards the south and east, so that's kind of round number 1. If we keep consistent shower and storm activity around during the day on Friday, as always, that cuts down on the severe weather threat, which would be good, but we have more rounds of showers and thunderstorms lasting from Friday night going into the beginning of Saturday, at least. And some weather models are indicating that we fire that all back up again Saturday afternoon, and then that finally presses to the south and east as we head towards Sunday. So that's part of the 3 things you need to know here. We got clearing skies tonight, that wildfire risk leading up to the storm chances because it's dry out there right now. It's warm in the forecast. Are getting well into the 80s. Some places are going to approach 90 as we head towards the end of the week. And see my little boxes here as we move each day. They're all in the red, meaning they are all above normal temperature-wise as we head out here into the future. And with above normal temperatures, we got dry vegetation out there, very low humidity levels. This is a fire danger, at least into Wednesday, maybe even lasting into Thursday. Cool, though, for tonight. We got temperatures right around upper 40s to 50. That's refreshing. But then back up into the upper 70s to the lower 80s for Tuesday. And here we go. With all that sunshine out there, we get a little bit of a breeze. We've got that dry vegetation out there, or dry grass. Just look out there. That grass is starting to turn yellow in some cases. It will be a beautiful day, just we have the wildfire risk. And here come those shower and thunderstorm chances Friday going into Saturday, and then perhaps dry on Sunday. As we head out into next week, temperatures get into the upper 80s to near 90, and there are some indications that we may have some isolated thunderstorm chances as we head towards Wednesday, Thursday, going beyond. So maybe even more rain chances building in. But what's the trade-off here? What do we got to pay for here? And that's the hot and humid conditions as we head out starting later this week and then going out into next week. But again, I'm going to leave us on a bright note here. We showed this a little bit earlier in our first half hour of Live at 4. I'm going to show it again here. Amy from the Sun Prairie area captured a rainbow this morning just on the other side of that lake because we had just a couple of raindrops falling from the sky, and then you have the sunrise. And well, when you got raindrops and if you got sunshine, you have that chance for a rainbow. So Amy, thank you for making our day here on Channel 3 and in southern Wisconsin. Beautiful photo there.
Very pretty. Thank you, Amy. Thanks, Alex. Well, it's not a place that screams date night, but maybe it should. The Green Bay Packers Pro Shop has been named one of the country's most unexpectedly romantic places. Ace.com polled over 3,000 Americans to find the most unexpectedly romantic spots, and the Packers Pro Shop came in 3rd place. Apparently, true love is green and gold. Now, you might be wondering, the #1 top romantic place in the state of Wisconsin is the Mars Cheese Castle. That is, of course, a Kenosha landmark, but that is barely in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So.
I wonder what happens if you take your significant other who's a Vikings fan to the Packers Pro Shop.
Yeah, they may not feel the love.
Might not be so romantic. All right, there's more to come today at 4. We are covering the biggest stories of the day in the afternoon sprint.
It's 4:52, time for the top stories as you get ready to head into your evening. It's the afternoon sprint.
State prosecutors are dismissing their case against 31-year-old Robert Gilkey Messigeyer after he was already convicted on federal child sex crimes. Gilkey Messigeyer was convicted of attempting to produce, and possessing child sex abuse materials. According to court documents, in light of Gilkey Messigeyer's federal conviction on the same incident, state-level prosecutors have dismissed their case against him.
We now have a clearer picture of why a flight from Chicago to Minneapolis made a diversion to Madison on Friday night. A 75-year-old man was detained and handcuffed on that flight. It appears the man was having a mental health crisis and allegedly repeatedly tried to breach the cockpit. No criminal charges are being pursued at the moment.
In Janesville, police there are asking for your help in finding two 16-year-old girls who were reported as runaways on Thursday. Police say Pamela Torres Castellanos and Liliana Garcia Barranco were last seen getting off a bus near Union Station in Chicago. If you have any information about their whereabouts, please call the Janesville Police.
The Universities of Wisconsin Board of Regents announced today that it would consider a 2% tuition increase for the next school year. The regents are also considering raising segregated fees by an average of 3.5%. That means with tuition, fees, and room and board combined, the average annual attendance cost for an undergraduate at UW-Madison would increase by about 2.5%.
I'm tracking pleasant weather tonight and pleasant on Tuesday, and then things are going to change. Lows tonight are going to be right around 50 degrees as those temperatures slide down through the 70s into the 60s by the latter part of the evening. And then rain chances on the increase with higher humidity expected by the end of the week coming up at 5. I'll let you know if any of those storms could be strong.
All right. Thank you, Alex.
We have a look at what we're working on for News 3 Now at 5 after this. Coming up at 5, it's Madison Bike Week, and the annual celebration of all things on two wheels is back and better than ever. We look at how the local government kicked off the week-long series of more than 8 bike-oriented events. And protests are erupting in Kenya today as the U.S. is planning on building a quarantine center for citizens who have become sick while traveling overseas. We'll show you what we know about the outbreak. Thanks for watching Live at 4 today. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks for spending this time with us. You can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. News 3 Now at 5 starts now.